Hello, this is not a spring chicken. Yes, you're probably wondering, what in the world am I doing? Well, I'm getting in shape for the new year. You're going, what? But actually, this happens to be one of the new things I picked up at a gifting suite. And it's by a company called MTG, and it's distributed by Toyota to Show America. And it's one of those things that, oh, you want to know those secrets about how to help yourself look younger? Well, this may just help, but for now, we're going to bring Oldecam on with comments on the headlines of today. I know, this is addictive. Polls show that with only 27% of the people wanting Obama to run in 2012, he will still win by a landslide over even the unnamed candidate.
I know, that's theoretically, that's mathematically impossible. If nobody wants, if a little more than a quarter of the people wanting to run, three-quarters of the votes that are against him. He's lost before the election ever starts, but the polls that are being taken all show that he overwhelmingly defeats any Republican candidate and any Democratic candidate and even any unnamed candidate. The unnamed always wins in elections.
Given the choice of pissing off Muslims or the average American, the president decides to do it to Americans.
Oh yeah, because profiling would be wrong, because you're picking on people. Well, and they keep saying if a guy is blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and called Sven blows you up, then you can profile them too. But until then, you profile the people that are doing all the killing in the world.
I know. Well, right now, who's getting away with TSA?
Yeah, well, the Muslims can get on a plane without having to be checked. That's the way it works, folks, because you can't do this because you're offending our religion.
Yeah.
But if they can offend any of religion that's in this country, but you can't offend a Muslim religion because we have a Muslim president.
Islamic Center seeks, yeah, he does more for the Muslims than the blacks.
Yeah.
Black Americans.
He doesn't care about black Americans, but the Muslims.
Islamic Center seeks 9/11 recovery grants.
Well, they're no longer a mosque whatsoever. They're now an art center. So they're asking for the money to build the center to come from the United States government, of which Obama said was never going to happen, of which they're going to approve now. And that's I mean, the guy is I heard this morning say this guy is a bucket of slime, this president, and that's why nobody likes him.
Yeah, but he's still doing it and they didn't stop him.
I know, they're not stopping him. And that's the problem. Somebody's got to stop his spending of money, and especially on things that people don't want done. You know,
if you're there at a crime and you allow a murder to happen, then you're considered an accessory.
That's right. Obama's going to be an accessory. This man does not understand. He is not protected from the law like a police officer is. No, if he breaks the law, public officials can be arrested and charged with the crimes.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. If a president of the United States is standing in front of a bank, they walk into the bank, kill everybody in the bank, and they walk by him, and he makes no attempt to leave the scene of the crime and go call the police, he's guilty of the crime. That's first-degree murder. He's a participant before, after, and during the crime.
And polls shows it's all over for the Republicans.
Oh yeah, because the same polls that showed that nobody can beat Obama said the public is demanding overwhelmingly that there be no messing, that they only have tax breaks for the people that aren't paying taxes, and that health care be allowed to continue, and the Republicans must support Obama finish his programs, because only Obama can save our nation.
Yeah. Harry Potter takes it all at the box office.
Oh, yeah. Basically, it's the biggest opening they ever had of Harry Potter. Of course, they said it might have something to do with some scenes that were put in the thing with Emma Watson, but that might be a different story, so.
Hey, but it's the largest opening.
That's
in fact,
right.
Nothing else is doing much at the box office.
Well, they drained the life out of the entire box office in the world. The box office didn't really pick up any. They just drained it from everybody else.
At least 349 died in stampede at the Cambodian festival.
Yeah, it's the same all over the world. Nobody has good crowd control.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, China Church ordains bishop over Vatican objection.
You can't do that, folks. I mean, okay, first of all, it's a Chinese-approved Christian church, so it means they run the church and they ordain the person themselves. So.
Oh. And TSA pat-down leaves Michigan man covered in urine?
Yeah. That's just one of those things, because he told them not to touch him, and they did anyway. So the problem is, Obama doesn't care. He really, I mean, they're in there. Well, when the holidays are over, and they're threatening to arrest anybody that has pat downs over the scanner. This is the United States of America. It is not a communist country. He seems to think it is. You cannot. Our Constitution prohibits. They say, well, you don't have to fly. Well, that's going to happen. I think American Delta is afraid they're going to stop flying, so they're trying to PR thing today that, well, they'll take it on a case-by-case about refunding your money. Well, when everybody stops flying, then they're going to shut the...
Well, the hard part is that airlines, this is before it gets to the airlines, so the airlines really, you know,
the airlines are stuck, but the big problem is, folks, they aren't getting on American planes and doing things. They're coming into our country.
Duh.
And once they're in the airport, there is nothing in plan, nothing in there to stop the people from getting on a plane that comes from another country.
And we can't control what happens in another country.
That's right. It's not our country where they're blowing things up. They're coming in from other countries, and if you're already inside the airport, they can't do anything to prevent you from blowing up an airplane.
And the Air Force says it sent bid out info to competitors.
Yeah, because that's what they're supposed to do, but they're making it sound like it's something brand new.
But they always do.
Yeah. Obama's trying to make it look transparent.
And Miller files lawsuit over write-in votes, over how write-in votes were counted.
Well, they weren't supposed to be counted, period. That's the first thing. I mean, basically he has no chance because the McCloskey controls the political machine in the state. She controls the media and the political machine. So the fact that he's only behind by 10,000 votes is a miracle.
Myanmar, patients face eviction after a Suu Kyi visit.
Well, yeah, basically anywhere this woman goes, that they let go this democracy advocate, and now are basically teaching anybody a lesson that comes anywhere near her. So they're basically putting her in prison in public.
Really?
Well, yeah, she's not allowed to have contact with anybody, period.
Why?
Because she's this is a dictatorship, and she wants democracy, so.
Oh. Delta Airlines worker group rejects union representation.
Yeah, because it's basically the unions are trying to shut down the industry again. They're demanding this, demanding that. I mean, it was a bad deal when they said the pilots don't have to go through the scanners and the flight attendants do.
Well, see, part of it is the airline industry is already having enough problems, so now they're having problems with the unions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, of course, because it's during the holidays. Did you notice that this happens just before the holidays?
Every holiday, they try to shut it down. This time they're going to get to shut down unexpected, which is people are going to basically shut the airports down all over the country. 68 airports will be shut down is all.
Yeah, all the ones with the scanners.
All the big ones.
Yeah. Gases delay rescue for 29 at New Zealand mine.
Well, they figured that most of them are dead to begin with. They figured the blast of explosion killed everybody.
Woman who told Obama she was exhausted loses her job.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Because only the President of the United States, the business community doesn't like to hear their employees are exhausted because the President is working so hard to keep them working.
What? And she told Obama she was exhausted?
No, she did. Obama basically stopped at a place, caused one of his harassment things where he basically disrupts everything in the business. And the woman basically was exhausted from waiting on his people, but basically forged in front of the line of everybody else.
Oh.
And just because he's president, we'll put it this way, his grandmother taught him better manners than that.
Well, she's turning in her grave.
That's right.
You noticed when she passed away?
Yeah, right before she saw the travesty happen.
It is actually still very unfortunate. Tobacco industry, because maybe she might have talked some sense into him.
Yeah.
Tobacco industry lobbies for flavorful cigarette.
They've had flavorful cigarettes forever. The only thing that they got going for them is we have an addicted president that can't stop smoking no matter what.
And Salesforce shares soaring on cloud computing craze.
It's the same stuff as before. The cloud is just a different name.
It's a name for the internet. I don't know what to do.
It's a different name. They just call it the cloud or the garden, the walled garden.
And TSA is, of course, in all the news because the chief warns against boycott of airport scans.
I know. That's what you really want to do is threaten the American people. They're basically... last night I was listening to Rush Limbaugh doing Obama's Miranda rights, that they're going to be giving to people. It's basically you can't do anything to a TSA employee because they work for the president. But if you say anything, you do anything, you look at them crosswise, they can have you thrown in a federal jail cell. Yeah, they threaten to arrest everybody that refuses to have a pat down and leave. They're not even letting you leave the place. They threaten to arrest you.
Really?
If you refuse to pat down and instead leave, they'll arrest you.
And a Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Normally, if a president of the United States stood against the will of the people, you'd think that man would be on his way out. Unfortunately, they say Obama's getting stronger.